Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In case you don't know who I am, I'm Cyrus Rogers. This is Leading in the Winner's Circle. Born prematurely at 29 weeks, 3 months early, this baby boy's chances of survival were really low. His mother feared for the worst, but via some intensive care, prayers as well, he pulled through. Then the doctors said to his mom, he might develop a disability as he grew. And her heart sank. But she knew that with the right guidance, her son could go on to live a normal life. What follows is a story unlike any other for mother and son. That boy, South Africa's own, Wade van Niekerk. He took his talents and his ability and pushed himself to the very top of the sporting world. In fact, what he's achieved has not been achieved by many. His is a story of great leadership all the way through.
So who's going to succumb to the adrenaline first? Van Niekerk is running blind on the outside and he's set off really quickly. These three are away and clear. Cedinho's tried to come back into it on the inside. And the short Merrick coming back and Cavani James. But it's Van Niekerk leading at the moment. The South African now beginning to tire. Or is he? He's pulling away. It's an unbelievable victory by a huge margin. A century of history and 43.03. I can't believe it. He has obliterated Michael Johnson's world record. It was destined to be one of the great races and one of the great days.
I still get goosebumps watching that race. I don't know about you. But that showed performance perfection and true leadership at its very best. There are various levels of leadership, but what we see here are two. Self-leadership, as Wade ran towards his dreams, and we ran with him. And team leadership, from his support staff, his coaches, and his mom. In fact, sport plays a huge role in society today because, in a way, it is the mirror for what we hold as the ideals of humanity itself. It's about ability, performance. It's about inclusivity and winning. It has the potential to bring a nation together in joy, but it also has the potential to bring us all together in defeat. I think we've all been there. South Africa itself has had our history punctuated by some of our greatest sporting moments as well. You think about Stransky's drop goal, Mandela and Pina. You think about Bafana Bafana winning the Africa Cup of Nations, or Josiah Tugwane winning the first gold medal as a black South African at the Atlanta Olympics. All of these examples are of true leaders doing what they needed to do at the right time. It's a massive business as well. One of the things that we have to realize is just how big the scope of the sports industry is. In fact, sports portal Statista has said that by the end of this year, the sports industry will have earned $90.9 billion US. The sports apparel industry will earn by the end of next year $171 billion. I'm going to bring that even further down. So if you're looking at sports teams, Forbes has just said that the Dallas Cowboys are worth $4 billion. The first proper football team, third on the Forbes list, Manchester United, $3.6 billion US. To give you a little bit of perspective, the GDP of Swaziland sits at $3 billion. It takes a heck of a lot of true leadership to run those organizations and to ensure that the leaders all the way down from the kitchen staff and through to the boardrooms are getting everything done right. In my research, I found that people are looking and calling out for the leaders that they need. They need to have people who can lead them all the way to the front. What I've also found is that there are 5 aspects to leadership, and I'll talk you through just one of them today. This one in particular is called perspicacity. And I'll start with a story. In the 1970s, a man named Richard took some tennis lessons from an amateur called Old Whiskey. What a lovely name. He realized after those lessons that there's a future in this sport. But he didn't see one in it for himself. In fact, he was watching TV and he saw a lady by the name of Virginia Rositzky, a Czech, playing some tennis, and he thought, wow, this looks like something my kids could do. So after watching TV, and I know a lot of us don't do that, he went straight to the room, pulled out some paper, and he wrote a 78-page plan for his kids' success. Can you believe it? He started coaching his kids. At the age of 10, his eldest was then spotted by a talent scout who then moved the entire family from Los Angeles all the way across the United States to Florida. I'm sure you guessed it. Those girls, Serena and Venus Williams. They were there for a few years, but in 1995, Richard realized that they were stagnating. And so he pulled them out of Tennis Academy, and then 4 years after doing that, Serena went on to win the US Open. The year after that, his eldest, Venus, won Wimbledon. That's in the year 2000. Can you imagine? 17 years later, she was back in the final this year. And that all started with the 78-page plan that he had for his kids. That's perspicacity at work. Having acute mental vision and shrewdness, knowing that the future that you want to envision has to happen with you when you start seeing the bigger picture up front. What you have to do as well is also have goal setting and visualization as one of your key things. So I'm going to ask you to do something as you go forward. Picture yourself in the future as the success that you envision yourself to be. Once you've done that, imagine that future self reminiscing on the steps that you've taken to get to that success. That's the way you have to visualize, and it's the great way that great leaders do. The next thing about that is staying on track, ensuring that at every point in your journey, you're using your perspicacity to get you to the point that you need to be at. And then keep touchstones along the way. Make sure that you've got things that you can refer back to. Above all else, you've got to ensure that you're focused on winning. That's a taste of leading in the winner's circle. So please, ladies and gentlemen, sing when you're winning and sing with me at USB. Thank you very much.